So what is actually possible with Lego investing? What kind of return on investment could you achieve if you bought Lego sets before they retire, hold them for a year, and then sell them again? What kind of return on investment could you achieve? This is BrickBucks, and this is where we dedicate our time to talking about Lego investing, buying Lego sets, holding them for a while, and then selling them again when they become scarce in retirement. Today, I want to break down some of my recent sales as part of my Lego investing business. I'm going to talk about 5 different sets that I sold recently within the last month or two on Amazon. How long did I hold the sets for? What did I pay for the sets? And what was my profit and return on investment? And we're going to walk through these from the lowest return on investment to the highest. So number 1 on this list is quite a high return on investment, although I think all of them are pretty good when compared to other types of investments. So before we jump in, I do want to ask you, if you enjoy these kinds of sale breakdown videos, please hit that like button to let me know so I continue to make more of these in the future. And with that, let's jump in here. And in at number 5 here on this list, this is Lego Ideas, the Flintstones. Now we're going to see an assortment of different themes in this list. I've actually picked some sets from 5 different themes to walk through here, and the one from Ideas is Lego the Flintstones 21316. Now this is a set that I bought for $48.67. It was a $60 retail price, so that was purchased below retail price. I sold it for $104.88 for a profit of $33.73 after fees are paid. So that includes the Amazon fees being taken out of the actual sale price, and of course removing the purchase price that we paid for the inventory. So that is a return on investment of 69% on this one after a 2-year hold time. Now honestly, this is an underperformer, and I wanted to include it just to show that, you know, it's not always doubling your money with Lego investing. And I held this set a little bit too long, and my return on investment was 69%. Now, when compared with stock market or other investments, 69% is still incredible, and that of course is a poor performer here. But I gotta say, I should have sold this sooner. I held it for too long by holding on for 2 years. I felt like it was going to get a bit of a bump at some point after some of the lowball sellers sold out, and that was my mistake. I held it too long. I have a different strategy these days where if something is underperforming, I sell it. I just get rid of it and I put that money into something that is more likely to be a winner. And Flintstones, Lego Ideas, I had higher hopes for this set compared to what it actually ended up achieving over the course of 2 years after retirement. But again, 69% return on investment, $33.73 profit per unit, multiplied out by however many units you wanted to invest in, is not bad, right? That is an underperforming Lego investment, and it's still pretty good going. So that is number 5 here, the Flintstones from the Lego Ideas theme, and we get a whole lot better from here. Next up, we have a Jurassic World set. This is the Dilophosaurus on the loose. This is set number 75934. Now, I bought these for $16.09, and to be honest, I think I paid a little bit too much when I paid $16.09. That includes taxes and different things like that. I should have been able to get these cheaper. I'm not sure what happened there, but $16.09, when I look back at my records, was what I paid for this set. Now, I sold them for $44.19. So that's a profit per unit of $16.73, or a return on investment of 104%, which is of course more than doubling your money on this set. The whole time on this was a lot better at 15 months, just over a year was how long I held this set for. Now, I was holding this set a little bit to see if there was a big bump in demand as a result of the Jurassic World movie, and we did see some bump, but it didn't really hit the expectations that I had for the movie and the impact that it could have had on some of these sets. I think the movie did not live up to the anticipation and the hype a little bit, so I sold all of my units of this set at 104% return on investment, which of course is not bad. For 15-month hold time, doubling your money, that is not bad. And that's just number 4, folks. Again, we go a little bit better from here. That is the Dilophosaurus on the loose, set number 75934 from Jurassic World. Next up, we have Hogwarts Moments, and this is the Harry Potter theme, of course, and it is the Herbology set. So the Moment sets have been really interesting for Lego investors. Only one of them retired last year, and there was supposed to be another one retiring, but it got pushed out, and that is the Charms class, I believe. But this set was the only one that actually retired. And it's interesting what happened after that, because they released a new wave of Hogwarts Moment sets at the start of 2022, which helped to drive a lot of that collectability factor, and it made people really excited to go back and buy all of the previous iterations of these sets. Now, Herbology was retired, and also the fact that this was the first set to retire in the Hogwarts Moments theme meant that it was a little bit undersupplied because Lego investors weren't buying it. They were not sure what to expect from this theme, and so a lot of people slept on this one. They didn't pick it up. As a result, the supply was extremely low and the demand was extremely high for the Hogwarts Moments Herbology set for the first 6 months of 2022. And what ended up happening is we had a $30 retail price set that you could have bought for $23 or even lower 6 or 7 months ago, that is now selling for something like $65 on Amazon. So I picked this set up for $22.79 and I sold it for $64.48, which gave a profit per unit of $26.62, which of course is more than what I paid for the set. So the return on investment is 117%, which again is more than doubling my money on this one. Now, this was a hold time of 6 months. So although this is coming in at number 3 here on this list of 5 in terms of the actual return on investment that I made, if you look at the hold time, this is actually probably the best investment on this list, because 6 months to make 117% return is pretty good going, right? So when we can do this kind of thing, and then we can do it at scale, because again, we're making $26.62 per unit, but we're not just going to buy one of the set, right? We're going to buy multiples. And so you can actually do pretty impressive numbers when you scale it up a little bit. And so that was a really, really good investment, and the Herbology set really outperformed what I expected of it, but I'm glad that I jumped on it at the last couple of months before it retired. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the next wave of Hogwarts Moment sets, because of course there's going to be more of them retiring and more choice. Investors are a little bit more kind of clued into what's happening with this theme right now. But I still think that some of these sets are going to be undersupplied in the aftermarket. I still think that investors are kind of not paying them as much attention as I think that they deserve. But again, I don't expect any of the next Hogwarts Moment sets to perform the same way we saw Herbology perform, because I think this was a bit of an outlier. All the stars aligned for this set that led to such an increase in price over the course of 6 months after retirement. Incredible investment, and a great example of what is possible if you do a little bit of research and kind of do a bit of due diligence in picking your winning Lego sets. Moving on now into number 2, and next up we have a Ninjago set. This is Wu's Battle Dragon. This is set number 71718. This retired last July, so that was 2021, in the middle of the year, and the purchase price, what I paid for this, was $15.20. I sold it recently for $50, right at $50, and my profit per unit was $21.90. So when you're paying $15, that is good going after a year. It actually wasn't even a year, it was just 10 months of hold time on this one for a return on investment of 144%. So that is an incredible performance for a set that a lot of Lego investors were really ignoring, and they weren't buying last July when this set was retiring. Next, we're moving into number 1, and I have a mixed emotions. It is number 1 on the list in terms of return on investment, but I do have mixed emotions about this taking the number 1 spot. This is the Lego Parisian Restaurant from the Creator Expert theme and modular building. Now, it's set number 10243, and this one retired at the end of 2019, and there is why I have mixed emotions, because again, I held this set for too long, and so it was a great investment and I made a really, really good return on investment on it. But in terms of my personal strategy, I like to hold sets for less than this, and most of the sets that I sell, I will sell at a kind of a shorter hold time. So holding this set for 2.5 years was a little bit out of the norm, and I think the reason I did that is because I was watching sets like Brick Bank and Detective's Office, which are other modular buildings that had incredible performance, and I was kind of honed in a little bit too much on what I felt was possible with the Parisian Restaurant, because for me, it's actually my favorite modular building that was ever created. I had high expectations, high hopes for it. It didn't disappoint. The price really has done some great things, but I can achieve these return on investments in a much shorter period of time with other sets. And I think I kind of forgot that a little bit with Parisian Restaurant, and I held it for a little bit too long. But anyway, regardless of that, the purchase price is $152. I sold it for $482.48 for a profit per unit of $258.11. Again, hold time of 2.5 years. Return on investment was about 170% on this after Amazon fees are taken out. So 170% return on investment is, of course, fantastic. It's nothing to be disappointed about. I just think that maybe Herbology and Wu's Battle Dragon, the two sets that we just looked at, were actually better investments than this one in terms of the ratio of time that I had to hold the set for to the return on investment. And so this one takes the top spot in terms of the actual total ROI. But if we factored in the whole time, this would not be in number one. Either way, some really high return on investment here on this list, and this is just some of the sets. Now, I don't want anyone to believe that Lego investing is always this perfect and you're always going to get these kind of high results. It's not always like this, and there are some sets that I've sold recently that are not performing as well as this. For example, the Duplo Bakery I'm selling at more like a 60% return on investment, and that's after a year hold time. So it's not going to make this kind of list, but it's still not losing me money, and it's still actually a really good return on investment when compared to other things like stocks. But I just wanted to call out, you're not always going to double your money. You're not always going to get 170% return on investment. However, these things are possible if you know how to research, if you do a little bit of research, if you learn how to join the communities and network with people, ask the right questions, but also take it upon yourself to learn the themes, learn the sets, learn what has happened in the past, and just put in that little bit of research. You can absolutely achieve great return on investments with Lego investing. Now, if you want to get started with Lego investing, or if you want to just grow your business from where it is right now, and you feel like you want a little bit of extra help along the way, I have a private Discord community called BrickBucks Ignite, which I think is going to be a massive help to some of you out there. We have monthly private meetups for the members inside the Ignite group. We have bots and tools to help with analyzing sets, finding the winning sets, tracking great deals, also showing some retired sets that are popping back in retail stores that you can grab real quick, and all sorts of other really great tools and different things like that. I also post private videos into the group which help to go much deeper on my Lego investing strategy and more kind of up-to-date stuff on what I'm doing in a given month. And over the next few months, as we approach the important holiday period, which is the most important time of the year for Lego investors, inside that group we're going to have a lot of brainstorming, a lot of strategy sessions, which I think is going to help every single person who really wants to take this thing to the next level. So check out the link in the description below if you want to grab a spot inside the BrickBucks Ignite private group. And with that, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you found the information useful, please hit that like button and let me know. I'm Shane from brickbucks.net. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.